She is in love with my husband asterisk asterisk. I never thought it would happen to me. Not in a million years. But one day, it did. I saw it in her eyes, the way she looked at him. It wasn't just admiration or respect. It was something more, something deeper. She was in love with my husband. It all started innocently enough. Sarah had been a part of our social circle for years, and her friendship with James was nothing unusual. They'd known each other from work, and I had always thought of her as a sweet, harmless woman. But lately, something had changed. It was subtle at first. A glance here, a touch on his arm there, lingering just a moment longer than necessary. At first, I chalked it up to nothing, just the natural camaraderie of old friends. But then I began to notice the way she smiled at him, the way her laughter was a little too loud when he made a joke. It was as if she was trying to capture his attention, to make him see her in a way that wasn't quite friendly. One evening, we had a gathering at our house. James and I were hosting some friends, and Sarah was, of course, invited. I noticed her sitting across from James, her leg brushing against his under the table. I could feel the tension rising within me, but I kept my composure, smiling and pretending everything was fine. But then came the moment I couldn't ignore. James stepped out of the room for a moment, and in that brief silence, Sarah turned to me with a soft, almost knowing smile. "You're lucky, you know," she said, her voice quiet. "He's such a wonderful man." I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. She wasn't just complimenting him. She was claiming him. I tried to brush it off, laughing it off, but the words stayed with me long after the night was over. The next few weeks felt like a slow unraveling. Sarah's presence in our lives became more frequent. She was always at the gatherings, always just a little too close to James. He seemed oblivious to it, or perhaps he was choosing to ignore it. But I couldn't escape the feeling that something was happening between them. I confronted James one night, my voice shaking with a mix of fear and anger. "Do you think she's in love with you?" I asked, unable to keep the words in any longer. He looked at me, surprised. "What are you talking about?" he asked, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. He'd never truly considered it. "I don't know, James," I said, pacing the room. "But I do. I can feel it. Every time she looks at you, I can see it." He sighed and pulled me into his arms, kissing my forehead. "You're imagining things, honey. Sarah's just a friend. You know that." But I couldn't shake the feeling. Days turned into weeks, and Sarah's behavior grew bolder. One evening, she came to our house, looking more dressed up than usual. She found every opportunity to stand next to James, to brush against him, to laugh at his jokes in a way that felt too personal. I could feel my heart breaking. It was as if I was losing him, little by little, to someone else. Someone who was trying to slip into the place I had once occupied with him. I didn't know what to do. Should I confront her? Should I talk to him again? The uncertainty gnawed at me, but I couldn't ignore the growing tension. And then, one day, it happened. Sarah made her feelings known. She came to my house when James wasn't around, and she admitted it. "I love him," she said, her voice low and filled with sadness. "I know it's wrong, but I do." I didn't know how to respond. Part of me wanted to yell at her, to make her leave, but I was stunned. I had always thought I was the one who had his heart, and yet, here was this woman, telling me she loved him. As much as it hurt, I realized I couldn't force her to stop. Love, I had learned, was something that couldn't be controlled. But I could fight for my marriage. I could show James that I wasn't ready to lose him to anyone, not even Sarah. That night, I sat down with James again. This time, I didn't hold back. "I need you to understand," I said, "that there's something happening with her. Something that could tear us apart." James looked at me with wide eyes. "You're right," he said quietly. I didn't see it before, but now I do. The truth was out. And while I didn't have all the answers, I knew one thing for sure: I wasn't going to let her love him away from me. Not without a fight.